inauguration.
It's forecast to be a cold day on Jan.1, but Mayor de Blasio will be basking in the Bern.Vermont Sen.Bernie Sanders will swear de Blasio in for his second term as mayor, City Hall announced Wednesday. That's just 4 years after Hizzoner was sworn in for the first time by former President Bill Clinton, with Sanders' eventual primary opponent, Hillary Clinton, looking on. Senator Sanders is a proud son of Brooklyn and a dedicated advocate for working people. Sanders' progressive leadership has helped reshape the American political debate in favor of men and women long left out of our city and nation's prosperity, de Blasio said in a statement. It was Clinton whom the mayor endorsed, after hemming and hawing at length in public, in the 2016 race, though you might not guess as much while tuning into the mayor's more recent speeches. In Iowa, he railed against the Democratic desire for donors in 2016, arguing the pursuit of cash had left the party desiccated and with a candidate who lacked a message. Back in January of 2014, relations between the Clintons and de Blasio, who managed Hillary Clinton's 2000 Senate bid, were rosy. But de Blasio's public insistence Clinton prove her progressiveness before he choose a candidate, while privately telling her staff he intended to endorse her, which he eventually did, led to a rift between City Hall and Clinton world. More recently, the mayor has cozied up to Sanders, who traveled to New York to ride the subway with the mayor, back his hopes for a longshot tax of millionaires to fix the subways, and endorse his re-election bid. Bill de Blasio is the weather vane, he knows which way it's blowing, Democratic consultant Hank Sheinkopf said. Centrism is dead.Long live de Blasio and progressivism. Inviting Sanders ties into de Blasio's increased focus on his vision for the Democratic Party nationally. New York City is in his rear window, he said. While many would argue the Clintons gave de Blasio his start in politics, 4 years later, they're on the outs in the party, and it is Sanders who de Blasio sees as the torchbearer of progress politics, Fordham professor Christina Greer said. I do think symbolically, what a visual, she said, of swapping the Clintons for the Sanders. But despite Sanders' star power, City Hall was lowering expectations for the event, which will take place on City Hall Plaza. It's term 2, so naturally this will be a smaller-scale event compared to 2014, spokeswoman Jaclyn Rothenberg said. It's going to be cold, and weather could be an issue.We're contingency planning for several weather scenarios. It's not just the weather, which was also quite cold in 2014, that might keep the crowd smaller than 4 years ago. Second-term inaugurals are boring because there's nothing new to say, Sheinkopf said. De Blasio's first swearing-in came after 20 years of Republican rule, Greer noted, leading to more excitement. 4 years later, there will be a natural enthusiasm gap, and people who are not as happy about the mayor now that he's an incumbent. This happens with all second terms, she said. That's going to cut down on people who normally would have braved the cold. City Hall estimated a crowd size of between 1,000 and 1,500 people and a cost of about $200,000, roughly half what the 2014 swearing-in cost. About half of the $200,000 budget for the event will be picked up by private funding through transition inauguration entity funds, which are raised under rules similar to campaign finance regulations. The other half will be paid by the City.It program will include remarks from the First Lady, Charlene McRae, and the swearing-ins of public advocate Letitia James and Comptroller Scott Stringer. There will also be participants from all 5 boroughs, City Hall said, including the Celia Cruz Bronx High School of Music Chorus, to sing the national anthem, Nick Youth Poet Laureate William Lawyer, Broadway singer Michael Kilgore, Andrea Hernandez, an NYPD analyst who came to the country as an undocumented child and has been a recipient of DACA, Walter Logan, a Midwood High School student and member of the Sex Ed Task Force Advisory Council, and members of Project Reach, an anti-discrimination initiative. There will be representatives from the Christian, Jewish, and Islamic religions, City Hall said. Members of the public can request up to 2 tickets at https://2018inauguration.Splash.it.